Oh my God, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, I'm also realizing I keep doing this every time. I completely forget that I have to go into. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Sorry if I jump scared you there. Welcome back, you boys. It is back with we're back with some more Primetime. It is Primetime Podcast, episode number 67. No, I'm not going to make a joke. I'm just going to sip my water. We got some more stuff to get into. I just want to keep talking free agency. I'm so giddy. So excited. Free agency is such an exciting time. It was a slower day today than it was yesterday, so not a huge amount more to get into. There were a couple other moves. We're going to talk about the biggest one that I had seen today, which is another quarterback on the move. I'm going to be diving deeper into another quarterback that we talked about yesterday. So we're talking Geno Smith specifically. Of course, that was the trade that happened today. We're also going to be talking Tua Tagovailoa today. No, not making a joke about that either, even though me calling attention to it is kind of making a joke about it, but not really. We're talking Tua in the big 2026. I would have never thought, and yet here we are. Those are two quarterback ones that I kind of want to discuss. And then in general, I figured, why not get into the nitty-gritty of the winners and the losers. Who won free agency or who has been winning so far, and who kind of feels like they've been making some poor business decisions, who has been making the bad decisions, who's been the losers of free agency. We'll be getting into all that. I'll be giving just kind of my general thoughts. And without further ado, guys, we got to talk the big, one of the greatest returns you'll ever see in NFL history, none other than Geno Smith returning to the Jets, where it all began in 2013 when Rex Ryan took a chance on the West Virginia quarterback, and it did not pan out remotely for the Jets. Panned out for the Seahawks. Certainly didn't pan out for the Raiders when he was there, and now he is back with the New York Jets. Just what an amazing story. What a feel-good story for Geno Smith to come back to his hometown team. And there are, I know, quite a few Jets fans who are, kind of numb to the whole having a bad team, bad quarterback, not making the playoffs for the last decade and a half. A lot of numbness, some anger for sure out there, but it's mostly numb. However, I will make the case for why Geno Smith, you know what? It's not the worst thing in the world. And in fact, I'll say right now, it is better than what they had last year. To break down the trade, keeping it simple, the Jets acquired Geno Smith from the Las Vegas Raiders. They give up a 6th-round pick. They get a 7th-round pick back. Basically just a pick swap. And the Raiders will move up slightly. Jets will move down. But more importantly in this trade, which is why I actually think it's very nice that the Jets were able to pull this off, they're only paying Geno $3.3 million in his contract, as opposed to the full $19 million that would have been owed this year. So that to me is a big one. That to me is a huge one in regards to, okay, Geno now you don't have to pay him as much. You don't have to pay him as much, especially in comparison to Justin Fields, who is still a $23 million salary, which you still owe him as long as he is on the team if you plan to keep him. So, from a contract perspective, Geno is 100% just a cheaper option than genuinely anything that the Jets could really get. And I'm going to say it. Geno is better than Justin Fields. Geno has been in the league for over a decade. He's able to actually process and read defenses. While he didn't do that well with the Raiders, I would imagine a Jets team that has a slightly improved offensive line will give Geno more opportunities than a Justin Fields that still hasn't fully developed as a quarterback, may unfortunately never fully develop as a quarterback. And for a Jets team that just needs to be able to show that they can get some sort of offense, they'll have a better chance with Geno, even if he turns it over more, than they would with Justin Fields, who's just scared to throw the ball. In terms of grading this trade, I already see Jay out there in the trades. I'll get to comments in a second. In terms of grading it, it's probably like a flat C for both teams. Like, maybe the Raiders, it's like a B because, you know, you get a higher draft pick. But, like, again, like, you weren't going to keep Geno anyway. For the Jets, it's probably a C. You could have gone for a Kyler Murray. You could have tried for a better quarterback. But given the situation, was Tua going to be a better option? Was, like, Kirk Cousins going to be a better option? I mean, could you imagine them bringing back Aaron Rodgers? So, it's not, again, and I saw this earlier. My friends were talking about it. Jets are like the Dark Age Knicks. Like the Dark Age Knicks now. The Jets have just gotten really good at just being the Dark Age New York Knicks. That's pretty hilarious. I'm not going to lie. I've seen such a true statement. It really is a tragedy what the Jets have become. But we'll kind of get into like who I think wins. Right now for the Jets, it's kind of a TBD. I don't personally like the majority of their moves. I think paying for like Joseph Osai feels kind of weird. They got Packers defensive end Enik Barre, who kind of in general made no sense giving a 1-year $10 million prove-it deal when he hadn't done anything. They got Minka, better than what they have, but also still not remotely in his prime. And is he going to play safety? Is he going to play corner? I don't know. We'll see what the Jets end up looking like. I can't really pinpoint them as winners or losers because it's important that they spent, but I didn't like their signings. It was really hard to tell until they get in there. I will say, with the signings that they have made, with everything that they have done, Aaron Glenn is under so much pressure this coming year. Because now it's 2 years you've had free agency, 2 years you've had your drafts to be able to figure it out. You'll say, well, he doesn't have the quarterback. You got to show me that your defense can play well. Like, that's what this season is about. This season is, you need to get the defense right. Because if the defense looks bad and you have, like, 2 wins going into Thanksgiving again, I got news. You're done. You're long gone. You're out of here. Especially with how much the pressure mounts on any New York team, whether they're top of the heap or bottom of it. All of the pressure is on Aaron Glenn. If they don't have more than 2 wins, or we're not looking at a much improved defense by Thanksgiving, or even say Halloween, done. Aaron Glenn, you're booted out. You will not be returning. Sashay away. You do not get a marshmallow. Like, it's just, you're gone. End of discussion. Let me see who's here. Easton, what is up? Over on Switch, my guy. What is up, man? Oh, wait, that's not the right one. Dang it, I misclicked. Welcome in. Shout him out, saying what's up. Appreciate you, man. How you doing? Hope you're having a good night. Jay saying the Jets get Geno for 2026 7th. Raiders get 2026 6th-rounder. Jets grade D, Raiders grade B. I give the Jets just a little bit more credit than that, and the only reason is because of the contract. If they were paying him the full $19 million or even like $10 million to that contract, I'd probably just give him a straight up F, because like what are we doing with that? And then Jason, remember reading of Mice and Men in high school? What was the ending of the book? Have you seen the movie? What was the ending? That's the Jets right now, Geno Smith. I haven't seen the book or the movie of Mice and Men. I gotta add it to my watch list though. I haven't seen it. I genuinely don't know. I'm uncultured, man. I haven't seen the ending of Mice and Men. I wouldn't know it. Don't spoil it though. I'll find it out. I'll figure it out, and then I'll get that joke. And then Thursday I'll come back. I'll get it. But I actually don't. I don't know the ending of Mice and Men. Sorry, man. I cannot lie. I cannot lie. I have not seen Mice and Men. I never read it. Books that I read up in school was like. Most of the books too, though, like I read, what did we read? We read Great Gatsby. I chose to read Fault in Our Stars just because I genuinely watched watched the Honest Trailers video and like CinemaSins, and that was enough for me to know the plot of the movie and write a book about it, or not book, report. That was about it. I did read like 100 pages, but then I got like sick of it. I couldn't get through it. And then Marcus is in the chat. Let me get your applause as well, Marcus Appreciate you, man. Appreciate y'all for coming out, and then tell me about the Rabbit Sword. I don't get that one either. Do I not know movies like I thought I did? Do I not? Is that just also a reference to Mice and Men? I guess dang, wow. I feel left out now. I have to go watch movies. You know what? I'm ending the episode. I'm gonna go watch Mice in Bed. I'm gonna go read it. I'm gonna go watch it. I feel left out. But in all seriousness, Geno is. It's not as bad as I think people are initially giving it credit for. And I think the Jets did need to do something at quarterback. It does kind of shock me though that they not just waited till day 2, but this was their option. Let's get the Geno reunite. Like there are some reuniting like players coming back to teams where it makes a lot of sense, but like my God, we're looking at what? Geno Smith. Guys, Geno Smith's back in New York. Do you know actually something? Did you know that Geno, he threw a lot of interceptions for the Raiders this year. Do you know that's not even the most interceptions he's thrown in a season? He threw 21 in his rookie year in 2013 with the Jets. Like, this isn't even Geno. Like, last year genuinely wasn't even Geno at his worst. That's insane. It's insane to think about how bad he was with the Raiders. No, he was worse in other situations. Like, my goodness. And that Jets team went 8-8. Could you imagine a quarterback throwing 21 picks and the team is at 500? That's how good that Jets defense was, man. That was how good rookie Sheldon Richardson was. Sheldon Richardson and Muhammad Wilkerson carried that Jets team to 8-8, despite the fact that rookie Geno was throwing 21 picks. Good God. And now they just have him back at also his second worst. Jets gonna jet, man. Jets are gonna jet. I know I said it's not a bad trade, and I don't think it is, but my gosh, how much more can Jets fans stomach at this point? They said it's from the book. I posted the meme. Once you see it, you'll get it. Ah, okay. Okay, let me actually, you know what, Jay? I'll pull it up right now. I'll go ahead and grab that real quick, just to see what we're looking at. I feel like, oh my gosh, dude, feed, it's everywhere. Here. Hold on.
We're gonna get a little place. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna get a little place, and we're gonna.
Look at it. It's like reflecting my own screen onto the thing.
Some pigs. We're gonna have maybe a chicken.
Is that the?
Down the flat, we'll have a little field. Be the alfalfa for the rabbit. And now I get the tender rabbit.
Oh gosh, I'm glad I turned that away. Oh my gosh, dude, I'm gonna get flagged on that. Oh jeez. Okay. You know what's funny? That guy, the guy who gets blasted looks like what's his face? Oh my God, Trailer Park Boys. Oh my gosh, I'm like, I can't believe I'm drawing this much of a blank. Randy's it's not Randy, but it's the share. It's the officer. Oh my God, I'm gonna like lose my mind. I'm looking it up because I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna be sad. Jim Leahy. Jim Leahy. It looks a little. Is it the same actor? I don't know, but it almost looks just like him. So that's what I was thinking. I was thinking in my head that was him. And Jay saying, "Look, Geno is a pro. If they draft the project QB, he'll definitely help him develop." I mean, yeah, but I mean, that's true. But I'm wondering if the Jets will even do that, right? Because you're not, obviously not getting Mendoza. There's no like, what are we going? Drew Aller? Are we going the LSU kid Nussmeier? Are we going Carson or are we going Beck? Like, man, that doesn't look great for New York fans to have to sit there and develop Drew Aller, who just feels like Zach Wilson all over again. Oh, but, maybe. A great comparison. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. And then we got Michael Robinson. Welcome in, Michael. How we doing, dude? Let me get you some applause, man. Thanks some applause for coming in and commenting, chatting. Appreciate you. Just saying LMAO. Appreciate it. Now, the question is, Michael Robinson, are you Michael Robinson of the Fullbacks Hall of Fame? That Michael Robinson? That Mike? I have to know. If you're not, then you gotta tell me which Michael what kind of Michael are you, Michael? I'm just kidding. You don't have to say anything. But I appreciate you for popping out. But anyway, Geno, this is just a nightmare situation for Jets faithful. I will say, and this is gonna be an interesting debate. I'll leave this up to you guys who want to hash this out. Worse fan base, like not worst fan base, but the fan base that have it the hardest. Because obviously Jets fans have it incredibly hard, but I've also seen like Cleveland fans. I'm curious to determine if we were to put like a top 10 list of the franchises that have suffered the most right now of top 10. Because I think there was one, they used to do those on NFL Throwback. They'd have the top 10 like teams that have suffered the most, or like top 10 cursed franchises. They made a video of that. At the time, the Chiefs were on it. They wouldn't be on it now. So I'm wondering where it is. It's like Lions would be up there, Jets, Browns would be up there. I'd argue Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati, the Bengals, could make a case to be on there. Atlanta now, especially after the events of the Super Bowl, would definitely be on. I'm trying to think who else is like Cardinals. Cardinals for sure are on there. Vikings probably. Bills. Oh, Bills would be on there for sure. In terms of just cursed franchises. 100% though. That would be a fun list. I might make that like a top 10. If I have time this weekend, I'll try to make record a top 10 of the most cursed franchises. It's a little short. We'll see what we can do. I'll see what I can do on that. Jay was saying legit thought it said Mitchell Robinson and I cheered. Mitchell Robinson. Man, dude, if that were here right now, oh my gosh, he'd be jumping up and down if Mitchell Robinson was here in the chat. But regardless, I'm gonna keep things rolling. Geno, we're done talking about one bad former, now current AFC East quarterback. Now we're going to talk about a full former AFC East quarterback turned NFC South quarterback, and that is none other than Tua. We got to talk about Tua. We got to talk Tua, guys. So this is another one that's a similar situation. Obviously, I didn't get to discuss it as much as I would have wanted to, but Tua joins the Atlanta Falcons. He joins the Dirty Birds. His glass body will be teaming up with another glass body, Michael Penix. We're getting the all-lefty QB room. Now we just need them to trade for Dylan Gabriel, and then we're all set. You have the full left-handed quarterback room. My initial reaction to this was, okay, I saw a vet minimum, so you're paying him next to nothing. You're not keeping him any longer than necessarily this year. We don't know if Michael Penix will be full set, ready to go week 1, so that's interesting. At the very least, you have like another option if Michael Penix struggles. And I think the reason Atlanta did this is because right now, we really don't know if Michael Penix Jr. is the guy. I mean, 2 years in, we've seen some incredible highs, we've seen some frustrating lows, and he's also been hurt a lot. We just haven't seen a whole lot, so they needed to go out and get somebody. Now, getting Tua, who is basically just Michael Penix but older right now, was a weird option. I mean, he's a little, I think Penix, like, in my head, I'm thinking, like, he's a little thicker. He's not as, like Tua feels, like, thinner, usually, when I picture Tua. But, you know, it is what it is. If you are Atlanta, you needed to get a quarterback that would work. Here's where I think there is potential in Tua. We know he's capable of putting up Pro Bowl seasons. He did it just a couple years ago. He's going to have very good weapons, right? He's going to have some good weapons. He's going to have some good weapons around him in Drake London, in Bijan, and Kyle Pitts. He's going to have Kevin Stefanski, who's a proven offensive coordinator. I mean, or offensive head coach. He's a proven offensive head coach. He's made things work with even Cleveland in multiple instances. The issue ultimately comes down to, you know, is Tua going to be healthy? Is Michael Penix going to be healthy? And news kind of broke, not really broke, it's been more implied that it was going to be, but it's basically confirmed now that this will be a quarterback one battle between Michael Penix and Tua Tagovailoa. And I'm going to be honest here, I think Tua's got no chance. If Michael Penix is fully healthy, I think he is I think overall, he's got the higher upside at this point in their careers than Tua does. But if Michael Penix is, say, only 80%, I think there's a very real chance Tua wins that starting quarterback battle. And to be honest, if we're being real, I think Tua's an absolute winner. I mean, you talk about winning. Not only do you get to leave Miami, you get to go to Atlanta where you won the national championship, where you threw the game-winning touchdown pass in the national championship, where you get a bunch of more weapons, where you get to play also indoors and definitely in a weaker division with an actual chance to win the NFC South. I mean, granted, Carolina looks that they've improved, that you still have Baker in Tampa, and then New Orleans, who had a hot start or a hot finish to the end of last year. But if you're Tua, this was probably the best place to land. And that includes the Minnesota Vikings because the NFC North is a very strong division. NFC South is pretty much up for grabs entirely. I think for Tua, this is the best opportunity for him to have a career resurgence. I think from the Tua's perspective, it's a huge win for him. From Atlanta, you're kind of making a decision based on the fact that you don't know the status of Michael Penix. But for Tua, slam dunk. This is a huge win for him. He still makes a lot of money from Miami. He's able to take a vet minimum. He's able to go out and prove it with Atlanta. Atlanta's got pieces. Like, they got dudes. They're going to have a Drake London. They're going to have a Kyle Pitts. They're decent on the offensive line. We'll see what their defense looks like, especially with James Pierce Jr. and his offseason shenanigans. But, I mean, Xavier Watts was good as well. He had a good rookie year for a fifth-round safety. So, I think Atlanta's got a very good opportunity. And it's why I think in the NFC South rankings of who I actually think is going to win the division, I think Atlanta, for me, would probably sit third behind, like, Carolina and New Orleans. I actually have Tampa kind of last. The reason why being you lose Mike Evans. The Bucs struggled significantly down the stretch. Losing offensive coordinators clearly hurt Baker. I think Atlanta could be there potentially if let's say the Saints don't follow through with their hot start, and let's say Bryce Young. I don't think Bryce Young will regress. I think Carolina becomes the favorite now to win that division now, based on the moves they made on the defensive side of the ball. We'll get to that when we get to like winners and losers. But overall, for Tua, he's got a very real shot to resurge and bounce back, potentially get a second contract with Atlanta or some other team. But listen, it's gonna be. We'll see what ends up happening. I'll be interested to see it. Jay saying Jets, Raiders, Browns, Giants, Cardinals, Falcons, Vikings, Dolphins, Bengals, Bills. I would remove the. I think Dolphins works, Bengals works. I'm gonna be honest, Jay. I don't buy into the I get the Giants have been really bad lately, but for a team that's won, I'm pretty sure 4 Super Bowls. I don't know if you can call them cursed, Jay. I'm talking like the bottom of the barrel type teams. Like, you know who's real? Like, I know they haven't been around for that long. They've only been around since like the 90s. But I saw this stat of Jacksonville where they don't have like a single player of the year. Like, they don't have an MVP, an OPOY, a DPOY, a rookie of the year, a comeback player of the year. Like, they have no player awards. I mean, they haven't been around for that long, but I think they could almost be in an argument to be cursed a little. But the Giants have 4 Super Bowls and 2 of the most iconic Super Bowl victories. I don't know if we can call the Giants cursed, Jay. Might be a little bit of. I would say who else? Who would I put in the 10th spot? Then is the question. If I had to put somebody in that 10th spot, I'm probably going. Yeah, I'm surprised Lee didn't have Lions on there, Jay. I mean, the Lions haven't won a championship. They ain't even touched a Super Bowl. Forget Super Bowl. They haven't touched a Super Bowl appearance. I'm surprised. I would put them on that list, especially considering the events the last couple of years where it's like, oh man, they're Super Bowl contenders. Now all of a sudden they kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit. But I think that's pretty much the list right there. That would be the top 10. I think the Raiders, especially as of now, lately, for sure. Well, we'll see. I'll have to go back and see what they put for that top 10 list. Because I also have to see what order I'd rank them in. Like, how cursed is cursed? Like, is cursed, like, so bad you're not even getting there? Or is more cursed getting there really multiple times and then still not being able to get the job done? I don't know what people would define as more cursed. We'd have to see. And then Marcus saying, those Tua and Magic City cell phone videos are going to go crazy. I'm excited. Dude, could you... It's so awful to say, but, like, imagine, Tua making the... I remember when Tua and I, like, can you imagine the hand signals he would be making out in Magic City? That'd be kind of nuts. I'd be interested to... I think it'll... Anytime anybody goes to Atlanta is kind of weird. I don't know. I'll also bet... I'm willing to bet... Also, I'm going to make a bold prediction. Bold prediction. If Tua does well this year... If Tua starts for the Falcons and plays well this year, he does not re-sign with Atlanta. Instead, he signs a giant deal with the Minnesota Vikings, and it doesn't pan out at all. That's my prediction. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm saying it now just because I would be funny if I get it right. That's all I'm going to say. Jay saying I was just thinking current with my list. That's fair. Current would kind of be close. I'm trying to. I would also, if it was current, I wouldn't have the Chargers. No, I wouldn't say they'd be cursed because I don't feel they were ever good enough to win anyway. I don't know if I'd put the Chargers on there. I don't think there's any other teams. I guess right now, yeah, you'd say the Giants would be cursed then if it was current. I'm thinking all time. I think it's like those. It's like a combination of most of those teams, though, for sure, for all time. But no, yeah, I'll have to get around to making that list. I'll work on something. I can't promise I'll work on something this weekend. I will attempt to work on something this weekend, presuming things don't get too crazy. Because I do have a friend coming into town. I want to hang out with him a little bit, so we'll see. We'll see what goes there. But that's Tua. That's the two dookie quarterbacks that, well, you know, hopefully maybe they can figure it out. Because honestly, I prefer good quarterback play over bad quarterback play. I enjoy watching good quarterback play over bad quarterback play. Unless it's against my team. In that case, I think it's hilarious. But you know what? It is what it is. We got to talk about the biggest free agency winners. Who is winning free agency right now? I'll kind of, like, generally speaking, I'll go through who, and I'm going to kind of keep it to teams. There are, like, individual players that I definitely think balled out in free agency. But I will say, let me go through who I think the main winners are from what I've seen. There has been kind of, you know, where's the let me just pull up the free agency tracker, because that'll just make it really easy to determine. I think it's this one. Nope, that's not it. I wanted the NFL one. The NFL one, it's better. What? No. Oh, I didn't even enter the right information. My gosh, dude. I am losing my marbles today. Why is it not just bringing up the one I want? That's ridiculous. Alright. What? Are you kidding me? Is it not real? Why is it that I type something into Google and it decides, yeah, you know what? No. You know what? I'm doing this. I don't know how this is not what I wanted either, but you know what? I guess it'll get me there. Where is it? Where is it? I know it's here, please. You know what? I'm going into history. Going into history and just pulling it from there because I know it's in there. What did I delete to lose it? You're kidding, right? No, that's not it either. Hold on, guys. I have technical difficulties because I'm a moron. Like, one. Are you serious? It just disappeared from the face of the planet? What are you talking about? Google history. I know it's here. I'm not. There it is. Gosh. Why would it? I swear I had it open earlier. I don't know why it wasn't there in the first place. Anyway, biggest winners. I'll start right now before the listing pulls up. Number 1, New England. If they land A.J. Brown. I think New England has done a very decent free agency job. I think adding Jermont Jones was solid depth on the defensive line. I think getting Romeo Doubs, who they got today at 4 years, $70 million, is pretty decent. They still need to land AJ. If they can land A.J. Brown or any other proven wide receiver one, I think they are a very big winner. Because when we talk about getting A.J., you have wide receiver 1. You add Romeo Doubs and Kayshon Boutte as wide receiver 2s and 3s. You can really put each, like, I think they're pretty close in terms of their abilities. So whichever one is wide receiver 2 or 3 is irrelevant. By moving off Stephon Diggs, you get A.J. Brown, who I think is a higher ceiling overall. You're looking at a team that understands we lost in the Super Bowl. We need to get better. Not to mention they added Elijah Vera Tucker coming over from the Jets. I think Patriots are not like the biggest winners, but definitely playing free agency right. Jets within the AFC East. Let me get before I even get into like kind of losers / kind of like indifferences. Let me get to other winners. I'm biased. I think Pittsburgh was a winner. I think Pittsburgh played free agency well this year. They understood their needs. They lost Kenneth Gainwell. That was like the one sting for me. But they added Michael Pittman. They needed a proven wide receiver too. They added Rico Dowdle, who had a very good year, like a good half year, and that's kind of what they needed anyways as an RB2. So that also works. They added Jamel Dean, and they added they re-signed Asante Samuel. So now their cornerback trio is going to be Joey Porter Jr., on one side, Jamel Dean on the other, and then they'll probably slot Asante somewhere in the slot or just as a rotational depth piece. I think that's good. Those are needs that they needed to address overall. They've always kind of struggled at corner. I like what Pittsburgh done. I think they're winners. I think they're closer to winners certainly than they are to being losers. You can maybe talk about kind of being mediocre, but they needed to address the wide receiver 2 position badly. I think Michael Pittman's a solid pickup, whether he ends up being wide receiver 1 and they slide DK to 2, or DK stays the 1 and they slide Pittman into 2, or if they're just kind of like wide receiver 1A, 1B type of situation. I think that was a winning move. There was another winner for me. Carolina. Carolina, I think, are huge winners because investing in the defense the way they did tells you a couple things. Number one, they're buying into Bryce Young. They buy into Bryce Young. And number two, they understand the NFC South is weak. We already won it last year, and we won 8 games. Let's get better. Did they overpay for Jalen Phillips, who's also a big winner because that's a huge contract? Yes, they did. But they also added him and Devin Lloyd. Sometimes that's going to be a concession you're going to need to make when you need to improve your team. You may overpay for a guy like Jalen Phillips. I think it's fine because, again, they're trying to say, we just need to get into the dance. They kept it tip for tat with the Los Angeles Rams, who were very close to the Super Bowl, who were maybe one throw away on 4th down by Stafford to getting into the Super Bowl, right? And they competed right there with them. So Carolina feels we're closer, we're ahead of schedule. Let's stay aggressive. Let's go improve in some of our weaker areas on defense. Let's go add Devin Lloyd, who had a breakout year. Let's go add Jalen Phillips, who's a very good pass rusher. If they can go out and continue to improve, Carolina's going to look like a huge winner. I think they will be in the future. Winner number 4, the Vegas Raiders. Shocking that the Las Vegas Raiders are winners of anything, but so far, they've done very well in free agency. Tyler Linderbaum obviously comes to mind. Linderbaum being the big get that he is, the big pull, how much money they ended up giving him, I thought was... Hey, listen, you could talk about resetting the market. That's the best center in free agency. Additionally, all centers won in free agency with that signing. But you get the best center on the board, arguably the best free agent, at the position you needed the most. Your offensive line was a mess. I think that is an incredible get for the Las Vegas Raiders. I think it could potentially provide those kind of dividends that like Kelechi Osemele did back in 2016 when they signed him. I think that's the kind of impact that Linderbaum can provide, and I think even more so because I think Linderbaum is better at his position than Osemele was at his, but my perspective there. They keep Eric Stokes. They go get Teron Johnson, who's an underrated corner. They did have to overpay a couple guys. But listen, when you're as bad as the number 1 overall pick, you have to understand, overpaying for guys is kind of whatever because you just need better players than what you had. And if they can go get Nakobe Dean, they got a Jalen Naylor, also an overpay. But they needed better players than what they had. Most of their team was a wreck. This is a huge improvement. So I think the Raiders are also big winners based on what they have done. I would also say there were a couple other teams here. I just wanted to get into it. Honestly, trying to see, there were a couple. So far, also, I like what the Rams have done. I think the Rams are big winners. When you look at adding Trent McDuffie through the trade, I thought that was a huge piece. Their secondary was poopy buns. They needed to improve it. They added both those Chiefs corners, who have both been really good in the form of Trent McDuffie and Jalen Watson. That was their biggest issue. They solved it. And then outside of that, like, name the other issue that the Rams have. Oh, they solved it already in free agency. Now they can use the draft to either accrue, like, late-round gems that they might be able to add on defense or offense, or they just get depth guys. But overall, that's a big win for a Rams team that, I mean, listen, that was their biggest weakness. Patched in, like, 5 days. And listen, they still have their first-round pick. They could get a very solid contributor on offense or defense as well with that 13th pick. So I think for the Rams, I mean, good Lord. Very, very overall, very nice. Very nice what I'm seeing them do. So I think those are like the biggest winners. I'm trying to think if there's like anybody who got like a significant contract that I'm thinking was like a big winner. Kind of scrolling through here. But yeah, I mean I thought those were big winners. Oh, there's one other winner that I felt Also, you know who else is a big winner? Individual player-wise? Alec Pierce. 29 mil is crazy. That's a lot of money for Alec Pierce. He's a big winner. Alec, invite me over to dinner. I don't ask for much. You don't even have to make much. Make like mac and cheese, and I just want to revel with you in your newfound luxury. But I'm very excited. I'm also gonna do like a middle-ish section. So like before I get into I thought those were some of the big winners. Like before I get into the losers, guys, the teams I think were kind of losers. I'm going to kind of go into like the teams that I kind of am in the middle of the road on. I don't think they're winners, but I don't necessarily think they're losers. Miami to me is kind of a middle of the road team in terms of winning and losing because they couldn't do much, right? So much to his cap hit makes it tough for them to do anything. And Malik Willis, like, yeah, Malik is probably going to be, more explosive and hopefully better. It just feels kind of like upsetting that that's how the Tua thing has to end. And I mean, obviously, Malik going there makes like total sense. The former Packers are now the coach and the GM. So why not make the quarterback also a former Packer? But outside of that, you're bringing Malik Willis into a situation where, yes, you'll have A-Chain and Jalen Waddle, but they've added no one else. They got Zane Gonzalez, a kicker, and Greg Dulcich, who will likely be like a backup tight end. Not a whole lot there, kind of just middle of the road. It really just depends on how good Malik Willis is or how good you think he is. Jets, I'm going to be honest, Jets I think are closer to winners than losers. Because again, I think, yeah, the Geno stuff you can rip on. But honestly, if you look at the rest of they kept Jelani Woods, decent blocking tight end. I don't like their edge pieces, but their interior D linemen like Tavondre Sweat, David Onyemata, I thought are good ads. If you know anything about Demario Davis, you know he's been a consistent leader for the New Orleans Saints defensively. So I like that piece. Getting Nahshon Wright on a 1-year prove-it deal is a steal because of he had a great year with the Bears. I mean, he really is, to be honest, Nahshon really is the equivalent of like Trayvon, or not Trayvon Diggs, but like, what's his face? Deron Bland for the Cowboys. He didn't score as many touchdowns, but he plays the same way in the sense where, yes, he gets a lot of interceptions, but also, like, he gives up a lot of big plays. So I kind of, like, yeah, the Jets are always like, oh, they're kind of trash, which is, I don't expect them to be, like, 11-6 next year, but it's definitely, like, an improvement to what they had previously for the most part. And then Minka, I mean, listen, yeah, Minka is certainly past his prime, but he had 1 interception last year, which is more than the Jets' whole team. So that's also an improvement. So there you go, New York. You're kind of getting improved. Baltimore's a weird one. I think they're half winners, half losers. Obviously, they get Max Crosby, but the massive sting of losing Linderbaum is huge. Like, that is by far... That's a huge loss for them. So they're like smack down the middle. They acquire Max Crosby in a big trade, but now Lamar Jackson is going to basically have, like, mostly turnstiles in the interior. They've never really spent on the interior. Like, like I mentioned earlier, they've let Osemele walk before. The guy they just brought back, John Simpson, I think they let walk a couple years ago. They never really spend big on the interior, but letting Linderbaum walk seems like a bad idea overall. I definitely think the Ravens are kind of middle of the road. Like, yes, Max Crosby deal was huge, but also losing Linderbaum stuff. Texans are kind of middle of the road. I think CJ Stroud specifically is a big loser because, like, when last couple of years they've acquired like Stephon Diggs for him, they acquired Joe Mixon for him, and now it's like David Montgomery doesn't feel like a great piece to add for a couple reasons. One, you're asking him to be the lead guy when he's better. I think he's better as a complement to someone else like a Gibbs. But secondly, the running back free agency class was loaded. Like, there were multiple running backs you could have considered. Like, ETN was available, right? Kenneth Walker being available. I understand Breece Hall was franchise tagged, but there was a chance he was going to be out there, right? There were multiple backs that you could have gone out and given money to. And instead, you're like, oh, let's go get David Montgomery. That'll be fine. That doesn't make sense to me in the slightest. I wouldn't do it. I don't understand why the Texans feel like they overplayed their hand a little bit. They could have been patient and just weren't. And now, here you are. But I mean, they had some pieces. Reed Blankenship's a good piece. They kept Danielle Hunter on the extension. EJ Speed they're keeping around. They did a lot to get Braden Smith, who I actually really like, despite some of his like injury problems. But actually, that might not be true. I don't know how. I know. Maybe I might be wrong. I might be thinking of it. But like, they didn't really do much. Like, your best addition offensively, where you knew you struggled, was David Montgomery. I don't know. You're gonna have to invest heavily in, I feel, free agency to be able to make that call, or you better hope like Jaden Higgins bursts onto the scene next year, right? Jacksonville is kind of down the road. It does bother me that they didn't try to keep ETN. Like, I get, fine, maybe it was too much of a price point, but really, like, we're rolling with all fantasy managers. Like, we're rolling with Tootin. Here we go, toot. I just don't think Bashal Tootin showed enough last year for me to justify wanting, like, having ETN leave. Unless maybe they're planning something crazy and like going to trade for like Jeremiah Love or something, which I don't think is happening. I don't think it's possible. I don't even think they have the capital there. But it's a shame to see them let ETN walk after what I thought was like his best year. So, I mean, maybe it was too much. They haven't really done much outside of that. Who is it? Buster Brown, who just reminds me of the Key and Peele skit where she's like, Buster's Browns. But 3 years, $33 million. Was a very good corner last year from what I've heard. I watched Jacksonville. I didn't notice him, but I guess a lot of Jacksonville's like emphasis was that they were much better against the run last year. But if you think he's good, man, fair enough. I'll get into some of these other teams. I guess the Chargers aren't like complete losers. They definitely addressed a lot of their offensive line. Like, they addressed their tackle position. They signed 3 linemen, so clearly they're trying to get better. But it's not like they signed great linemen. Like, Cole Strange is fine. Tyler Biadasz is a solid center. But I mean, like, Trevor Penning is. I mean, keeping Trevor Penning on, I guess. But like, he better be playing backup because Lord, he should not be a starter. I don't know. Charlie Kohler's a weird one too. 3 years, $24 million for basically a blocking tight end is like okay. Unless you believe he can be like a really good pass catcher, then fine. But it's like blocking tight ends all of a sudden making cheddar cheese now. It hasn't been like that in a while. So I don't know, a little shocked by that. Some other interesting moves, but. I guess now, I mean, I don't know. That was the main winners I saw. Also, I don't consider it like a winner because I still think they're going to be like not great. But Arizona, I liked Arizona's moves too. Like, especially Tyler Algier. That's probably my favorite move. I like Algier. And I liked Algier in Atlanta. He's always pretty much been on my fantasy roster, so I'm probably biased. But I've always wanted to see him like in a feature role because he's really always been like the side guy to Bijan. He was only really in a feature role for like a quarter of a season. I'd like to see him alongside Bijan, like outside of Bijan. He'll have an opportunity to compete with James Conner because Conner's probably coming off injury and might not be at full strength. So it could give Algier to have an opportunity to get some much more significant touches than previous. But Isaac Suamalo coming over, they got him over from he was with the Steelers, so I was also a little sad to see that happen. Improving the interior of the defensive line. Four of the guys they signed were either on offensive line or defensive line, so they're clearly trying to win in the trenches. They go at Gardner Minshew. The expectation is they're going to go get Jacoby Brissett. Good player. But again, like, they better be drafting some quarterback to at least try to develop and then, consider maybe going for a quarterback in next year's loaded class. But, yeah, an interesting one. And then Kendrick Bourne also. 2 years, $10 million. Kendrick Bourne can have some really good games when when Kendrick Bourne is on one, Kendrick Bourne is on one. So I also like that. So I thought that was pretty good. All right. Now, we flipped the script. We talked winners and half winners. Now we're talking half losers and losers. I used the same picture. Sue me. Mostly because there wasn't really a great one for losers. Let me recap it to the AFC East. I was talking about New England as a winner. I got to be honest, guys. Buffalo feels like a loser. And as much as I love, like, again, I'm from New York, so I kind of have a soft spot for the Bills. But I gotta tell you, man, these free agent signings are whack. Like, DJ Moore, fine. You need a wide receiver one. I get it. But also, like, who... They acquired DJ Moore. They've signed Shane Buechele. Is that how it's said? Shane Buechele. I mean, okay. So you signed a backup quarterback. You went and signed a backup quarterback, and you kept your kicker, Tyler Bass. And then you re-signed like Knox and Connor McGovern. Your defense was terrible against Denver. Why are you not trying to go get somebody on the back end or somebody on pass rushing? Like, is Trey Hendrickson the plan? Are you going to shell out for Trey Hendrickson? Is that the idea? Because if you don't, then you really didn't improve at defense at all. The only move they made was re-signing Sam Franklin. Like, by the way, let's not forget, the defensive head coach you just fired, yeah, he's not there anymore. Like, are you just not going to improve the defense at all? The defense that let Denver do whatever they wanted? Like, I understand that Josh Allen's the man, but Josh Allen, I don't know if you've noticed in these playoff games with his defense doesn't do a whole lot to help him. Like, on average, like, this defense let Jacksonville go up down the field when they wanted to, and Denver did the same thing. And I mean, we've seen those shootouts with Kansas City too. So clearly, I don't know what Buffalo's doing, not improving their defense, which has been the choke point in every single one of their playoff losses. So I don't know what Brandon Beane's doing. I think the Buffalo Bills right now 100% have to be free agency losers. Hold on. Oh shoot, yeah, the Darren Lee case, Jay. Dude, I saw that. I saw that at US Stadium. It was something crazy where it was like he basically had to word it to ChatGPT how to cover up a homicide. That's nuts. You know what's crazy, Jay, is remember the card series that I want to get started? I have to get interview questions set up for James Bradbury and then message him about it, see if he wants to do it. But that's in the works. Spoilers for that. But I think there's a Darren Lee card in there. I think I have a Darren Lee card in that set because I think it was 2016. So I have a rookie card in there, probably of Darren Lee, which is absurd. That's good. That's nuts, man. That's crazy. Yeah, prosecutor also presented messages recovered from Lee's phone showing exchanges with ChatGPT in the hours before he called 911. That's wild. To me, like, that's crazy. And in that, dude, I can't wait. Like, I mean, I can wait. I'd rather not have it happen, but for that series to get set up, to go out and interview players and pull random cards, I'm going to eventually pull Darren Lee's card. And good, oh my gosh, that's going to be just an awkward one to see on stream. Saying, yeah, he was asking ChatGPT if stab wounds could be played off like wounds from a fall. As a lawyer, I thank God he's my client. He's cooked. Yeah, it was some wild Darren ChatGPT. Let me see what it was. There's like there was a picture of it too. I haven't seen. Yeah, it was. I'm reading this bar for bar off the ChatGPT that he had. He says to assistant ChatGPT, don't know what to do right now. Fiance did her crazy thing again, and now she's messed up. I wake up and she has 2 swollen eyes. Parentheses. I didn't do anything. Self-inflicted. She stabbed herself, slit her eye, question mark. I don't know, but she isn't waking up or responding. What do I do? The parentheses, I didn't do anything, comma, self-inflicted, is the craziest part of this. Because, I mean, you're on... Like, that'd be crazy if that's the one thing that, like, I don't know, he said he didn't do it. Like, my gosh, dude, this is crazy, man. I mean, I've never understood what drives people to do stuff like this. Like, I have had my bad days, and even at the end of the, like, I don't know how you get to this. Like, what was even, do we know? I haven't seen enough of this case. Do we know even what started this, like this to even happen? Body cam footage played during his preliminary hearing. Like, oh my gosh. And also, like, the weirdest part, too, like, I just look at, like, I'm not watching the video. I just see, like, the thumbnail of them, like, it's like a residential area. Like, it's like crazy. Like, this is, like, this is like a very nice. This looks like a nice neighborhood, right? Like I'm seeing the houses. Like it looks nice. I see a basketball hoop out there. This looks like I look like this looks like right up where like up near where us we have like this area where it's like up in the hills. That's what this looks like. And I'm like, my gosh, man, someone just died in these like this is crazy. Someone just got murdered out here. Good lord. Jay said gotta still get it signed, send it to his inmate number in the penitentiary. Good lord, man. I get if you're able to get a Darren Lee like that, like a Darren Lee card. Marcus was saying OJ had a better defense. That's wild. Well, I mean, there's no way Darren's getting away with this, dude. Like, also, I feel like a lot of the OJ stuff happened today. Like, there ain't no way he getting away with that today. But my gosh, it's still crazy. It still drives me nuts. Like to think what could have possibly even started this. Like, what could have been the argument? Like, how? Because obviously this escalated from something. This had to escalate from something. What could it have possibly been? It shocks me to this day. Absolutely shocks me. Yeah, he remains in custody without bond. In recent weeks, Perpetuo's family filed a $50 million wrongful death lawsuit against compensatory and damages. He didn't even make $50 million. Oh, that's... You have Mr. Lee using ChatGPT as a legal advisor, as a defense attorney, asking ChatGPT to basically give him advice on how you cover up a crime scene. That was the DA, Cody Womp, saying that. That's... Oh, he's cooked. He has a public defender. Oh, it's over. It's over. You know how many, like... oh, my gosh. I mean, and that's not a shot at public defenders. The public defenders just are, like... Because public defenders have so many cases, right? Because you have the right to a lawyer. That's what the public defender is. But because there's, like, not that many public defenders, because a lot of lawyers, like, they go to a big law firm and make a lot of money. There's not a lot of public defenders out there because this is not profitable. It's not profitable for them to do. So they go to big law firms, and as a result, cost a lot of money. And if you're not willing to pay up the money for a lawyer, like, you're in a rough spot, right? So, yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Yeah, Darren Lee is definitely. I mean, I think he's definitely hitting. I'm being honest. He might get off with like something like 30 years, which is BS. Like he might get out after 30 years. Dude should be there for life. But you know, that's my opinion. Dude should be in there for life. No way. I mean, because I've seen like there are some instances where like you can get off for like 30 years, but like it's ridiculous. Prosecutors introduced body camera footage from deputies who responded to the scene. In the video, Lee tells officers he does not know why. How do you not know? He's done. What do you mean you don't know? You asked ChatGPT. You told ChatGPT she was unresponsive. You should know it. Even if she had somehow hurt herself, you would know why she was unresponsive. Whether you did it or didn't do it. You were there. Bro's cooked. Bro's done. Oh my gosh, Darren. Jesus, man. Unreal. Send him away. Just send him away. Gosh, you know what's tough? We get into these like rants, and then I just gotta jump back and be like, all right, well, the Bengals lost free agency. Like, I have to transition back to that. So, let me just get back into these losers. I already said yesterday, Bengals and Browns are huge losers. Bengals because Boye Mafe is not worth 3 years, $60 million. And Titus Howard, Zion Johnson, now we're adding Tevin Jenkins. Their best signing so far has been Elton Jenkins. That's it, right? Elton Jenkins is at least a proven guard with the Packers. Zion Johnson wasn't even an average guard last year with the Chargers. Titus Howard was an average tackle for Houston, but also had to swap between like guard positions. Maybe Titus could have some more upside, but Zion was just bad last year. Just not good. I would have taken Zion Williamson at guard. I would have put Zion Williamson on my NFL roster before I would put Zion Johnson. Like, I'm sorry. It just is what it is. Jay saying, yeah, sorry, man, I'm random. No, you're good. I enjoy it. It's fun. It's just every time I know we're going to get into it, and I'm hype, and then it's like, all right, let's swing it on back to something else. Like, let's swing it on back to just, yeah, the Bengals are bad, you know? So fresh out of law school, a lot of lawyers will choose to become a public defender for trial experience. Going to a big firm usually means you're just doing research and won't be in court for years. That's true. But I mean, like, also when you're fresh out of law school, to be a public defender in trial experience, like, you don't know what you're getting on a day-to-day basis, too. That's kind of also the tough issue. And that's tough for if you don't have enough money for a lawyer. If you get like a public defender, you just get a potentially inexperienced lawyer. Like that's also like the big problem, because you won't see lawyers who are well established being public defenders. You just won't, which is tough. I mean, it's because I mean a lot of them practice law school and have to do all those things. But this is speaking from zero personal experience and not knowing remotely anything about being a lawyer. But I would imagine that the difference in being in law school versus actually being in the courtroom and like being a part of a trial is just a crazy difference, which is just like could you imagine like that's your first day on the desk, like, hey, this NFL player, pretty sure we murdered his girlfriend. Make his case. Like that's crazy. Just getting get dragged, kicking and screaming from your desk, and like I don't wanna support Darren. No, like that's gotta be a tough one. Like I can imagine just like beating that back. Don't make me defend this, please. But it is what. Listen, man, that's what public defenders are there for. Losers. Oh, you know who else is a loser right now? Tennessee and the Tennessee Giants. And part of the reason I say that is because number one, like the corners they got are fine. I like the cornerbacks they got. I think they potentially entering their primes of their career. So not a bad move. Here's the issue. I have issue with two things. They're not complete losers, because I will say that what was I saying? Wan'Dale Robinson, people will say like it's a weird move. I like it. Wan'Dale has a career year, and a lot of people were calling him like a gadget player. Like I heard reports like, oh, Wan'Dale's more of a gadget player. No, he's not. He put up a decent 1,000-yard season as the number one guy with a rookie quarterback. Like, well, give Wan'Dale his flowers, number one. Number two, they say like he's a gadget player and that they already have Chimera DK for that. So what? It's even if he is a gadget player, you get multiple guys that are able to do good things. I don't see an issue with it. I do have an issue, however. I want to say it was Bellinger. Didn't they sign like Daniel Bellinger or something to? Yeah, they signed Daniel Bellinger to a deal, I'm pretty sure. Which, I mean, fine, but like the issue is he's not a great blocker and he's not really had big receiving seasons. So I'm a little shocked they would give what they gave, like $8 million a year for someone who's never had over 300 yards and isn't a particularly strong blocker. I mean, maybe that's what you're bringing him there for, but I don't know. Seems a little off. But a lot of the defensive deals make sense, bringing them in with Robert Saleh to get them, get their defense better. John Franklin Myers and Jermaine Johnson being the two that come off the top of the head for me. But kind of still losers. I just don't understand the Daniel Bellinger thing. They are okay, though. Like, they're not complete losers, but it feels weird to do. Colts, I also feel kind of in the murky middle ground between winning and losing, because I really don't think Alec Pierce is worth $114 million over 4 years. I just don't. $29 million a year is a lot for, like, again, he didn't even have 50 catches. Like, he's a great deep ball threat, but you don't pay a guy who only has one trick in his bag $29 million a year. You just really don't do that. You don't see teams do that. And especially because, like, fine, if you're paying for one catch for 48 yards, like, each game, fine. But, like, what about the rest of the 58 minutes you got to play? I don't know. It feels like a lot, especially for a guy that now they're saying, yep, he's our wide receiver one now over Michael Pittman. I just don't see that being an overall. I would have let some other team overpay for him and then try to get a different receiver. But I also want to say Broncos kind of losers. Like, you see New England making these moves, like big kind of splash plays, or at least trying to trade for Romeo Doubs to get back there. Denver's done next to nothing. All of their moves have been re-signings, and they let go of, like, Dre Greenlaw. They didn't really add anybody. I mean, maybe, like, I think they need to upgrade at the running back position, and they just re-signed J.K. Dobbins. Okay, fine. It's just nothing Denver, I think, is going to take a huge step back next year because they're not taking significant steps to be better. Kind of similar to what Kansas City did in their 2025 offseason after not winning the Super Bowl. It just didn't feel like they retooled correctly. Chiefs are kind of also middle of the road for me. I'm not sure if they're winners or losers. Kenneth Walker, yes, is an overpay, but it was at a much needed position. Their running back core was terrible. I don't understand why we're paying $12 million to Kelsey. Why can't Kelsey just Kelsey should really, if he wants to win a Super Bowl, take the vet minimum, my guy. I don't understand it. Take the vet minimum if you really want to win a Super Bowl. Stop giving me this 1 year $12 million. No, take the vet minimum or retire. Make a decision. I think they're holding on too long, and it's why they haven't been able to find their guy after that. Most of the NFC East kind of didn't really do it for me. The Giants I thought were solid. They adding Tremaine Edmonds, Greg Newsome. Likely I thought was a good move as well. Of course, Likely also another player going to his former coach makes sense. But I mean, the Cowboys, okay, fine. You just got Green Bay's defense. You got Kenny Clark, you got Rashawn Gary. And listen, Rashawn Gary was not good. Has not been great the past couple of years. So it feels very weird to go out and pair him. Maybe, but he has not been the same player the last couple of years. So I don't understand what the plan is there. Obviously, franchise tagging George Pickens, fine. Jalen Thompson's nice. I think he's a solid safety, but overall, not great. Philadelphia's done next to nothing. They just re-signed Jordan Davis. They just signed Tariq Woolen for a max value of $15 million. Why? He's fine, but I mean, Marcus Lawton was saying needs to buy the $12 million wedding ring for Mrs. Stick Stickley. Hey, come here, Mrs. Stickley. The Mr. and Mrs. Stickley. Oh my gosh. Ant too cute. You know what? Ant is too cute and too cute. Thank you for pulling out at the closing hour. Ant too cute coming in the talk. Saying Crosby trade got revised. In what way? In what way did the Crosby trade get revised? Did they what the was it contract wise? I haven't seen anything on that. Was it cap rules? The Raiders have spent one. I haven't seen anything. I haven't seen on that. What did they revise? Do you know off the top of your head? I haven't seen it yet. Because I don't know if it's is it the picks? Is it still, because it would still be, I would imagine it's still 2 first rounders. Did they add a stipulation? Are the Raiders paying some of Crosby's contract? That's kind of weird to give up 2 first round picks and say, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm trying to see it. I haven't seen them update anything. Twitter. Do you know who tweeted it out? Was it Ian Rappaport or? I got no idea, man. I'm trying to find it, and can I also say one thing? I'm so glad we call it Twitter. I'm so glad there's still the majority of people still call it Twitter, because let's be honest, that's what nobody's gonna call it freaking X, man. Let's see. What'd Shefty boy say? What'd Adam Schefter say? Ravens backed out? That's crazy. Now I gotta believe you're capping, brother. There's no way the Ravens just backed out. I gotta believe you're capping, dude. Ain't no way. Yeah. Let me look. Ain't no shot. And I just got news as a Steelers fan that we're re-signing Cam Hayward to what? Okay. Pause. Break time. Break time. I love Cam Hayward. Very solid player overall. Can we just establish that Cam Hayward still makes too much money for how old he is? $16 million a year. Brother, you're almost 40. Can we not deal with the fact that Cam Hayward is making this much money for what? For what reason? Okay, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? Can we not? I don't understand it. And I'm not going to. Because, listen, I can't. Ant, I want to believe you, man, but I haven't been able to find it. Dude, if you call this right now, because I am not seeing it pop up. I think, wait. No, there's no way. Wait, what? Wait, is this happening now? No shot. No way. That's crazy! And, oh my gosh! What? They backed out? The Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our trade agreement for Max Crosby. We have no further... No way, dude. The Max Crosby trade is... I'm looking up this on Yahoo Sports, but I don't know if it... Oh my gosh. What? Max Crosby contract set for adjustment after Ravens inherit defensive ends $29 million deal. Wait, what? Hold on. Is this legit? Max Crosby trades apparently off. The Raiders announced on Tuesday afternoon. Does this count as afternoon? Oh my gosh, this was like 5 minutes ago. This just happened. Holy crap. What? Wait, why? Did it say? Dude, Max is going back to the Raiders? Who backed out? Baltimore? It had to be the Ravens. Dog, what? Oh my gosh, Max Crosby's tenure as a Raven was a day. Oh my gosh. That's absurd. There's no way. Why? Did they specify? Were they like, we don't... Like, could you... What? Was there like a physical? Was there like, did he like not fail a physical? I'm looking at this now 7 hours ago. NFL uploaded a video called Max Crosby on being traded to Ravens. I'm a Raider for life. Yeah, you are! Yes, you are, sir! You are a Raider for life. Oh my gosh. That's nuts. I gotta find out why. That's... I've never seen that. When was the last time a team backed out of a trade? Good lord. Reports on March 10th confirmed the Ravens backed out. Crosby's officially... Wait! So does Crosby actually get moved still? Wait, so now we don't even know. Does he stay a Raider or is he going elsewhere? Could you also... Let's just point this out right now. Could you imagine Max right now in this moment? Max Crosby is expects to be a Raven. Imagine he already is like, yeah, we're going to Baltimore. I got my house packed. I got everything packed. I got it. We're moving. Gets off the plane, lands in Baltimore, sees Ravens have backed out. Goodness gracious. Oh my gosh. As a Steelers fan, that's just hilarious to me. Like, why would they back out? What? Were they like... Did people criticize the Max Crosby trade somewhere and Baltimore just got subconscious? Is that they like, oh, wait. That's crazy. They straight up backed out. Oh my gosh. They backed out of the trade. Now what? What happened, Rossini? Max Crosby didn't pass his physical today. Oh, what? Oh my gosh. No shot. He didn't pass his physical. And the trade is vetoed. That's absurd. Wow. Do you think he did it on purpose? Do you think he was like, no, wait, I want to go back? Like, imagine wanting to go back to the Raiders. That's insane. Guys, I'm like, my mind is blown. My mind is blown that just happened. I was about to end stream. Like, I normally end stream at like right at 8. Holy. Well, I'm glad y'all were here for that. That's crazy. So now what? So now the question is, Do the Raiders have to keep him? Now, hold on. How does this work now? Does anyone know how this works? Anybody know more than me right now? Please. I need someone who knows. Because if he fails his physical, can he be moved at that point? Because if he failed his physical once and he goes somewhere else, like, does he just have to pass it somewhere else? Oh my gosh. And also, can they still make that trade another time? Like, let's say Ravens still want him. Do they still try to make that? Oh my gosh. And you know what's crazy? The next team that trades for him is going to get him for less. Wow. That has to be it, though, right? No one else is going to give up 2 first-rounders for a guy who failed his physical. The Raiders just may have to hold on to Crosby at that point. Like, that may be a real possibility. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh shoot. I'm attached to my computer still. I have my head footed. Sources are telling me his blood sugar was abnormally high and his knee hasn't healed properly. So wait, he might not pass another physical. So wait, Marcus, if that's true, he doesn't pass another physical. So like he doesn't get sent anywhere where he passes, where he gets like another shot. That's wow, this is big. I think Max stays a Raider then. I think that's the only logical outcome. And oh my gosh, you know what? Shout out to Ant Too Cute for just dropping that bomb. Oh my gosh. Appreciate you, man, for coming out of nowhere. I straight up, I thought you were capping. I thought you were messing with me. No way. And here we are. And now Max Crosby's probably, oh my gosh, who's the winner? What? Now it's Max. Max is probably a Raider because he can't pass it. Like, it's unlikely he'll be, like, he may have to get, are we waiting till, Marcus saying a doctor will pass him somewhere? We just get a doctor like, hey, like, look, dude, trust me, here's the prescription. Like, he's fine. He's fine. That's nuts. Baltimore didn't pass him. So then, I mean, what? Is it Dallas? Is it Chicago? Does someone else? And now, I mean, now all of a sudden, the Ravens get their picks back. Now all of a sudden we're looking at, I mean, good Lord. Now the value has to go down if you're the Raiders, right? The Raiders now, the value goes down. I think the Raiders will still try to hunt for their first round picks. They may be stuck with Crosby till the draft. They may have to wait till like the draft night to consider trading him. My gosh. And this like right now, if I was the Raiders, oh my gosh. And that changes a lot. That changes so much. Because if you're the Raiders now, all of a sudden you go from 2 first round picks to 1. Now you don't, like, I thought they would have another piece to be able to build with Mendoza, like get him another lineman. They may have to trade up to now do that. So much changes. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That I'm like, I've never had this. Like, can anybody? I'm looking this up. I'm looking up. Like the one in my head in general that I can most recently think of was Mark Williams failing his physical when he was getting traded to the Lakers. But outside of like any other, like I'm trying to think of like a big massive trade that failed because of a physical. Trying to think if there were any other ones. Yeah, holy crap. The Ravens have backed out of the trade for Max Crosby. Crosby released a video on social media Saturday saying he has no ill will and hopes to retire with the organization when the time comes. Oh my gosh. Bro, I saw the news that first stream I found. Great first stream to join. Editor Ethan, appreciate you, dog, man. Thank you for popping out. Holy crap. I was streaming. I've been streaming for the last hour, and I get the news, and I'm like, are you serious? So now Baltimore has their picks. They still have picks 2026, 2027. I don't think. I mean, what do you guys think? Can the Raiders move him? How does this work now? Jets like guys, throw Max in. We'll give you a third and fourth pick. The Jets trading for Max Crosby, like, guys, here's our chance. He's gonna. We'll get our doctor to pass him. I swear. We'll say he's good. We'll say anything it takes. Wow, Max backing out of the trade is that's huge. That changes every. To think now, like, and even now to think, like, the start of free agency, that was the big, like, boom, like, Max Crosby gets traded. Then all of day one free agency. Then day two of free agency is kind of quiet, not being talked about. And then at the end of the day, we get, boom, Ravens back out of Max Crosby deal. Holy, my gosh, that is going to be a talking point. That's going to be a huge talking point on like everywhere, on ESPN, on any sports network site. It's going to be everywhere talking about Max Crosby. So now, I mean, again, Cowboys were still in the mix, we know. And listen, the reason why the Cowboys didn't land him was because their deal was slightly shy of what Baltimore offered. There was like a first rounder and a second rounder. So it's very possible that we could be looking at, like, okay, maybe Dallas throws that offer and they'll just say, just pass him. Doctor, just pass him on the physical. That's so funny. That's so. I don't know. I'm just gonna, everything I say after now is just kind of repeating myself. But I've never seen that. I've seen it happen, but I've never seen it at this high of a level. What a cap off. What a sender. Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if it gets much better than that. I mean, we got and who else but Roger Goodell himself. Roger Goodell has come in to weigh in on this. He says, "We will have a coin toss at the NFL draft. Each team will go head-to-head for the services of Max, and renowned Springfield doctor Nick Rivera will be on hand to complete the physical." Excellent. Excellent. Well done. Is that, I don't know who that is off the top of my head. Is that the Chargers doctor that did the, let me Google that real quick because I don't know who that is off the top of my head. But if we get, like, is that the oh my gosh, it's the Simpsons. It's the Simpsons doctor. That's amazing. It's the Simpsons doctor from the Simpsons. But dude, imagine if, like, we get the Chargers doctor who punctured Geno's lung to come in. On accident, of course, on accident. But could you imagine they get that doctor to run the physical? That would be crazy. Oh my gosh. Well, there it is, folks. I don't think Stream's going to get any better than that, honestly. To cap it off with the Max Crosby reaction, oh my gosh. I'm glad I streamed for the extra 20 minutes. I'm happy about that. I was fun. That was fun, little fun out of nowhere. It's why you love free agency, man. I tell you, everyone's been saying how much NFL free agency slaps. It just does. Free agency slaps, the draft slaps. Unfortunately, a lot of the off season's mostly quiet, but those two things, they hit like actual, like, playoff games to me. They hit like NFL playoff games. They hit in a similar tone to me. That me personally, that's how they feel. But you know what? I'm happy for it. Roger Goodell says it's not him, but he can also be there to administer a shot to Max. Yeah, make sure he really doesn't pass that physical. Oh my gosh. Well, that was a Primetime Podcast episode 67. Wow. You know what? Of course it's the 67th episode that has to have a huge moment in it. Like, that's crazy to happen. But oh my gosh. What a roller coaster. What a raucous ride. I appreciate you guys for showing up, for hanging out for this hour and what's it been? Almost hour and 20 minutes now. I appreciate you guys for showing up. I appreciate you guys for commenting, making it. I love it doing it. You know, we're here Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays. If anybody's new right now that was able to tune in, if you want to tune in for Thursday's episode, make sure you hit subscribe, turn on that little bell. You know, if you want to, hey, be like, hey, I found this really cool stream. You know, it's get it while it's. Listen, be one of the front runners. Be one of the first ones on the Primetime with Philip White train. What a way to end it. You got a clip or two for sure. I'm excited. Jay. It's going to be big weekend editing. Presuming I don't go too hard with my buddy while he's here. But I appreciate y'all. Make sure you're clicking subscribe. Make sure you're clicking follow. I appreciate you guys for showing up. I will be back Thursday for the free refill episode 51. Probably diving more in to this back out trade with Max Crosby. And who knows? Maybe by then the Raiders will have found a new suitor. So as free agency continues, as the NBA season continues, as all of sports continues revolving around, this has been Philip White. This has been Primetime Podcast episode 67. And I'll see y'all next time. Love y'all.